This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations, please stand by. Hello and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for the week of March 13th, 2024. It's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general, and thankfully we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron, Delta Oscar Romeo Oscar November, and I am this evening's net control. If you're ever interested on what we've talked about in the past, we do stream on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you've missed past nets or meetings, that's an opportunity to check what we've talked about. We also have w0tx.org/check-in, and you can see who's checked into this evening's net and past nets and what we've talked about previously. Looks like over the last week or so, let me drop here for a moment. During our Sunday night net, we had a report of people who had recently taken exams. Larkfest, Hamfest is coming up. Flyers for our DRC Fest. Hamfest is coming out soon, as well as more information on our website, updated as normal, as we've been talking about here recently. So if you would like to know about the upcoming meetings or Hamfest, things like that. We also talked about, let me drop once more. Membership updates on our website, signal reporting and troubleshooting on a 991A, ED E0IR. We're helping out with that, so hopefully we can have some follow-up on that. KM4 CFT Jonathan spoke about his CW kit creation and the progress that a progress update. So awesome to hear on that. Let's see. Ron, KF0FPI, had talked about or asking about a CHA 250 HD antenna. Pete, AB8WN, asked about the subject of how does SMS and APRS work together. And then there was plenty of other follow-ups. Let's see, some ISS, International Space Station contacts. So yeah, we've been talking about quite a lot of things here. So we can talk about any of those, as well as we'll be taking your check-ins, comments, questions, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. You can contact us via email, W0TX, elmer@w0tx.org, or if you go onto our website and look under the officers, staff, and volunteers, there is a lot of contact information, phone numbers, email addresses, so please don't hesitate to reach out however you feel comfortable. Also on most social media at Denver Radio Club. As mentioned, we do stream and archive our nets on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that's an additional way to participate in the net. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use ITU phonetics, at least for the call sign, and indicate if you have any traffic or questions, you check in. Again, you can follow along check-ins, w0tx.org/check-in. With that, we'll start taking check-ins. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please call now.
W0TX repeater.
This is Kilo Mike 4, Charlie Fox Tango, Jonathan and Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Kilo 5, Alpha Fox Oscar, Ben in Aurora, no traffic.
This is Kilo Echo 0 Alpha Bravo, Cannon Lakewood.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Hold up there for a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. KM4 CFT Jonathan, Kilo 5 Alpha Fox Oscar Ben, and Kilo Echo 0 Alpha Bravo Ken. Thank you all so much for checking in. Once more, if your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, and you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
Whiskey Golf 0, Lima Foxtrot Romeo, Chance in Aurora, no traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Broomfield.
This is November 0, Lima November Tango, N0 LNT, Dan in Lakewood.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Foxtrot Papa India, Ron in Lakewood, no traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. I have to step away for just a second. I'll be right back. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I do apologize about that. I was trying to just confirm something here. Let me drop once more for a moment. All right, sorry about that. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. WG0LFR Chance, AF0E Alex, N0LMT, I think was what was mentioned there, Dan, and KF0FPI Ron. Thank you all so much for checking in. If there was any corrections or if I missed a call sign, please call back.
Yeah, Roger, it's Dan here in Lakewood. It's Lima November Tango for leave no trace. Copy?
All right, I think I got you that time. N0LNT, Lima November Tango, leave no trace. Thank you so much for confirming that.
Thanks.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We'll move down to the second half of the alphabet. November through Zulu. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic questions, let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions. N through Z, November through Zulu, please call now.
November 0, Mike, Tango, Lima, Micah and Thornton, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Hold up there for just a moment. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. N0MTL, Mike, Tango Lima, Micah, and N0TRP, Jim. Thank you both so much for checking in. All right, we'll open up the whole alphabet, all call signs, all call suffixes. If you'd like to check in, this is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics. And we have plenty of combined experience and expertise, and we'd love to hear your stories, projects you're working on, any news that you want to follow up with or anything. So we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin, Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan, Lakewood.
All right, in that time we had K0KPS Kevin and KE0SUM Jonathan. Thank you all so much for checking in there. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. This is around an hour-long meeting, net, so we'll go about till 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. So we have 50 minutes. We'll take check-ins throughout the net. If there's a lull in the conversation, if no one's speaking, you're more than happy to jump in with any comments, questions, or check-ins. With that, we'll throw it out. Any other check-ins at the moment? We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please check in now.
November 0, Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim in Lakewood. No traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Lima Juliet Tango, Jeremy and Aurora, no traffic, KF0 LJT.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Nevada Papa Sierra, KF0 NPS, Paul and Littleton, no traffic.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Hold up there for a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. N0EYZ, Jim, KF0LJT, Jeremy, and KF0NPS, Paul. Thank you all so much for checking in. We've had a couple new check-ins here. Dan, N0LNT, and Jeremy, KF0LJT. Welcome to the net. If you have any comments or questions, we can jump back to you guys at any point. But thanks for checking in onto our group here. So this is K1DBC Net Control. One more call at the moment. Any other check-ins at the moment? Please call now.
Correction.
Yeah, go ahead with the correction.
November 0, Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim.
All right, sorry about that. Maybe I misread it, but I do have you down here on the log. N0EYZ, Jim. Got you checked in. Thank you. All right, I don't see anybody indicated they had any traffic questions so far for this evening. But I'll throw it out to the group. We'll take more check-ins if you like, but any comments, questions, anything else so far for this evening's event, we can certainly bring up upcoming events and recent news and current affairs of ham radio and things like that. But anybody at the moment, comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
W0TX repeater.
NPS traffic.
Yes, Paul, KF0NPS, the net is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you, Doran. So I have a question for the group. I'm curious about what favorite UHF, VHF mobile radios that of the group. I've been researching options, looking for something that would be pretty flexible and could even be modified to include GMRS. So just curious on what options that folks like.
Great question. Yeah, what are the options out there? What do people favor in terms of dual band mobile radios? If anybody has anything, go ahead.
N0 LNT comment.
I think we had a double in there. I heard LNT Dan Lima November Tango. Anybody else was trying to get in there? All right, nothing heard. This is K1DBC Net Control, N0LNT. Dan, the net is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess my comment is I picked up this little Redivis. It's a RT95 dual band. It covers UHF, VHF, dual band, 25 watts. I'm running it right now on a little mag mount in my window here with a toaster oven sheet underneath it. It works pretty well, and I've used it on the same mag mount on a rental car on a couple trips, and it's easy to program. It came with a programming cable. It's pretty much the exact same radio as the Anytone 778, and they're about $100 when you find them on sale, or $125 normally. And they're, like I said, easy to program, dual band, 25 watts for $100. It's like, why not have more of them?
I'm at KM4CFT.
Great suggestion there, and we'll get back to your CMT in just a second. But yeah, the Redivis RT95 25 watt dual ham band for around $100. Yeah, Redivis line is a pretty interesting line of radios. So pretty capable and really cool stuff there. So yeah, awesome to hear that. And then KM4CFT, Jonathan, go ahead.
This is KM4CFT. I know that the mobile radio that I happen to use is a Yaesu FTM 400. Kind of expensive, and they don't make them anymore. They also have the FTM 500, which is available. It's also kind of expensive, but those are that's if you want to get a cream of the crop dual band, like a mobile transceiver. But honestly, any mobile transceiver would probably work fine.
All right, sounds good there, Jonathan. Yeah, the FTM 400, yeah, pretty good looking radio there, but yeah, you do pay a little bit of a price to get that. But yeah, really cool stuff there. Yeah, and as we've talked about in the past, it's just different features and functionalities above the normal. Most of these will give 25 to 50 watts, dual band, analog, the 2 meter, 70 centimeter bands, and maybe a little bit more. Some have APRS, some have maybe some digital functionality on what you're looking for. But yeah, there are a lot of options out there. Bigger screens, color screens, things like that, removable heads, things like that. So it kind of just depends on what you're looking for. But plenty of options out there. Anyone else on that topic of what's preferred options for dual band mobile operations? Go ahead.
SUM comment.
All right, Jonathan, SUM. Yeah, hopefully maybe working at Henrietta Outlet, you might have some a background of what people might like or just your own personal preference. Yeah, SUM, Jonathan, go ahead.
I don't like to advertise it, but feel free to come in and see me and say hi. Yes, I do have a preference because I am talking on the 400, which I've had for a number of years. Wonderful radio, never had a problem. Now it's discontinued. Now, I vote for the 500. It's going to cost you more than the 300, but the removable head has both you attach the mic in the front faceplate, and it has a forward-mounted shooting speaker. So if you can put the control unit underneath your seat, and you don't need all these extension cables. And I think that's a great product. I mean, it's still Yaesu, 3-year warranty, APRS, GPS, digital, etc. So I'm kind of voting for that, though I really love the 300 for the price. It's like a mini 400 without a touch display. Just my thoughts. Thanks, Tron.
Excellent. Sounds good there, Jonathan, SUM. Yeah, good suggestions there. As mentioned, it sounds like you're kind of piggybacking a little bit on what the other Jonathan, CFT, was also saying about that Yaesu line, the FTM 300, 400, 500. Pretty good options there. Yeah, you might be able to find a 400 being sold through Craigslist, things like that, because it's discontinued. But yeah, great line here, and yeah, that I think you were kind of mentioning the head unit being broken out to include the microphone under one Ethernet cable. That's a really nice breakout tool to have. I know the FT857D that I use daily uses I would have to use two breakout connections, so it's nice if I was understanding that. So yeah, great suggestions there. Anyone else what you might be looking for or suggest in terms of a mobile radio dual band operations? Go ahead.
Alpha Bravo.
Yeah, Alpha Bravo. Ken, go ahead. Then it's yours.
Oh yeah, on that radio, that N0LNT, the R95 dual band, is that a mobile rig or is that an HT?
See if I got it. N0LNT here, it's called Redivis, or the Anytone. They're both kind of the same radio, different brand on the front. And the Anytone number is 778, and the Redivis, R-E-T-E-V-I-S, is RT95 for, I guess, radio transmitter 95. And it's a little mobile radio. It's small enough you could probably fit it in a coat pocket. And one thing about it that I didn't mention earlier is it's pretty much unlocked to go through the whole 440, so you can do GMRS. Just have to program the channels.
Okay, thank you, Dan. This is Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo, back to net.
All right, sounds good there, and I really do appreciate the Bailey Balance there system of mentioning different radios there. Yeah, no, it sounds like maybe it's a rebrand or rebadged or basically the same radio, but the Anytone 778 UV and then the Redivis RT95. Yeah, great options there. So anyone else on that? I can maybe speak a little bit more on that, but anyone else? What do your mobile operations look like? Analog only, digital in some points? Do you have Bluetooth? There are some Bluetooth options. I haven't brought up my suggestion here yet, but anyone else? Any comments, questions on that? Go right ahead.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I have spoken about my mobile operations. I wish I should show it. I should show it off more often. It's another Retivis product, as mentioned there, but it is RT99. Let me drop for a moment. All right, in terms of Bluetooth operations, as well as it is kind of a paradigm shift. It is fairly similarly priced to what we talked about here, $120 to $180 depending on the sales. But in terms of paradigm shift, it has no traditional head unit face on it, essentially. It's all controlled basically through an app on your smartphone. So as well as, I'll try to bring it up, but it paired with this radio is kind of a Bluetooth accessory. It looks like a HT radio, but it through Bluetooth it communicates, and this provides, I think, 50 or so watts. That is what I use, RT99, Retevis RT99. Pretty awesome functionality. You can Bluetooth to audio, to your car audio, things like that. 40, 50 watt VHF, UHF, 2 meter, 70 centimeters. So I'll try to bring up the accessory once more, but anyone else on that or any other operations that you might want to bring up, go ahead.
Comment, SUM.
Yeah, go ahead with the comment.
So it's all run through an app on your phone. So now you're carrying an extra charger for your phone because if your phone dies, you can't use it. Is that correct?
It is not solely, you can operate it. There's basically just a normal handheld push-to-talk microphone that's plugged into it, so you can operate it like that. So as long as you have channels and things pre-programmed in, it does not require the use of a cell phone. But that is how it is programmed in other ways to operate it. But you can operate it through a regular Ethernet RJ45 style microphone.
Well, thanks for the explanation. As I look at it and you explain it, I can see it a little bit better, drones. So how do you like using it as your mobile unit?
This is K1 DBC Net Control. I'm trying to bring up the other part and I struggled to do this the last time, but basically I operate it through what looks like an HT, but it also just connects through Bluetooth, and it can also be programmed through it as well. But basically, I really enjoyed it. It has APRS built into it. There is some limitations to it. You can build in an unlimited amount of channels, but they're built on 16 channel banks. You can only have a maximum of 16 channels per bank. I don't find that a huge limitation. I mean, I monitor some of our frequencies. It does have dual band or dual monitoring. I really enjoy using it. The only downside is that because it has built-in Bluetooth, there is, even when it's turned off, it's still drawing a minimal amount of current. But that's really the only drawback, and there's not a huge issue with that. So yeah, I really enjoy it. It's really nice to have APRS functionality. I've made some contacts on it, but since I work remote, I really don't drive too much anymore, so I haven't had a good use to use it. So I might move it into my my home base of operations. But I have enjoyed it when I've used it. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that? Any comments, questions? Go right ahead.
You scrolled up too fast. What bands is this working on?
2 meter, 70 centimeter.
Thank you. Okay, E0 SUM back to net.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'm going to see if I can find that accessory. It's always so difficult for me to find this. This is K1 DBC Net Control. What else? Yeah, anyone else? While I try to look this up, if you want to comment on what your mobile operations look like, or anything on that, go right ahead.
Yeah, I've seen that radio a couple times. N0 LNT here. You can use a tablet on it too and download the app. Do you do any other data modes with it? And I guess you could run a screen like while you're driving. You'd have like a tablet open with different channels you can go to, and then you can either use is it BH-01, the little handy-talkie handset for it. It adds another $75 or something, but it's a pretty cool idea with that, because you could leave the whole head unit in the back of the, like say you have a hatchback or something, you leave it in the back and have the antenna go out the back, and then just Bluetooth pair either the tablet or your little handy-talkie there, right?
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, and I finally figured out what the model was. It's a BHM78 cordless Bluetooth speaker with display, but essentially it looks like an HT, and it connects to the unit itself. So yeah, you can connect through any Android or Apple operations. They're slightly lagging on the Apple side of things, but on the Android side, yeah, as you mentioned, you can even do people are trying to and have done some proof of concepts for some modes and operations on connecting that radio to your PC. I think it would be not either packet or some other operation. So yeah, there's a lot of possibility to it. But yeah, it's a really cool radio. It goes on for sale once in a while. So a combination of the Retevis RT99 and as well as this Bluetooth accessory for about $60. You can basically have really cool, just nice, clean operations. So this is K1DBC Net Control. That's what I use. I don't use it too often, but it just makes things really nice and easy. And I really, that is what I use. So anyone else on that? Comments, questions, anything else? Please call now. This is K1DBC Net Control. One issue, or not an issue, but a limitation is APRS functionality. It doesn't actually have a GPS module built into the base unit itself. I hope that they update that in the future, but basically they get GPS coordinates either from this handheld accessory unit. It does have GPS built into it, and or your cell phone provides GPS. So with a cell phone with mobile data, it can also act as a digipeater as well. So a lot of functionality. Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else further on that or your operations, please call now.
NPS comment.
Yeah, KF0NPS. Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, I just appreciate all the feedback. It's one thing to read reviews, look at eham.net, and take a look at lots of written reviews, but I appreciated the real-life feedback, including from both ends of the pricing spectrum. So appreciate that. KF0NPS. Back to net.
Perfect, thank you. And I think I had forgotten who had asked that question originally. So yeah, NPS, Paul, really do appreciate that that follow up there. So yeah, great conversations. Lots of different tools in our tool set. Lots of different options nowadays. So depending on your price points, depending on the features that you're looking for, or anyone else, there's a lot of options out there. So this is K1DBC Net Control. It's 8 o'clock. I might take check-ins here in just a minute, but anyone else on that topic so far? Mobile operations setup, go right ahead.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I am trying to find the antenna that I use, but it's a pretty cool as well. Is it this one? No. It's not exactly this, but it's similar to it, the MFJ 1734, a glass mount antenna. So if you don't want to drill any holes in your vehicle, basically one side sticks to the outside of a window and another part of this sticks to the inside of it, and then it's broken out through SO259, PL259. So another part of my operations, a nice clean setup where I didn't have to drill any holes or anything like that. So I'm gonna see if I can find the exact one that I use, but that's my antenna setup at least. So what else? Anyone else on this topic? Otherwise, I might throw it over and call for check-ins. All right, the specific one I'm using is called a TRAM, TRAM 1192 for dual band operations. So no need to cut holes in your vehicles. And this is, I've gotten really good signal reports. Yeah, lots of options out there. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Nothing heard at the moment. I'll take check-ins here. Let me drop for a moment.
Comment SUM.
All right, no problem. We'll get back to check-ins here in just a minute. Jonathan, SUM, go right ahead.
Well, I was thinking, this is ham radio related. when we search anymore, everything's done online, and I spend a lot of time online. And are there certain websites you guys actually find annoying? I'll start with the company I work for. I find HRO's website kind of annoying to work with unless you really do a deep dive into it. And who else was I just thinking of? Because somebody else, it was another ham radio organization or outlet, and it's like, this is really annoying. I'm just curious if anybody else had any thoughts. KE0 Eshua.
Yes, absolutely. That is actually a bit of a trope within the younger community of operators of ham radio. A few posts on reddit.com/amateur or amateur radio. Why are ham focused websites so bad? Another one is It Isn't Me, or most amateur websites stuck in the late 1990s. AMSAT, DX Zone, Repeater Book, EQSL, QRZ, eHam. Yeah, I'm sure that probably this is quite an old hobby, and I'm sure a lot of the websites probably just got started quite early on, and unfortunately really never evolved into some of the more modern day technologies. We ourselves at the Denver Radio Club have struggled over the last couple of years to modernize our website, so we're finally starting to do that ourselves. But this is a K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, it's probably just an effect of newer folks not maybe stepping in and helping. I don't know what it is, but that is definitely a trend. But this is a K1 DBC Net Control. SUM or anyone else on the topic of ham-related websites and could use improvements. Go ahead. All right, this is a K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, I'm sure we could go and look at some examples, but some of the manufacturers at least are starting to make things look a little bit better. Ham radio outlet, I'm sure, is an improvement over some other ones as well. But sometimes it's function over form, things like that. So yeah, anyone else on that topic of website designs, ham radio related specifically? Go ahead. I think someone was trying to get in there. If someone was trying to call in there, go ahead.
Yeah, comment from WG0LFR. As a young person growing up in the digital age and getting into an analog hobby, it's actually kind of nice to see some old-fashioned, if you will, websites. WG0LFR.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some quaintness to it, knowing that website probably looked the same way in the 90s and 2000s, and here 30 years later. So, and probably if it isn't broke, don't fix it, I think is maybe some of it. And some of the smaller clubs, smaller things like that, they don't often need to update their websites. And but yeah, great topic there. This is a K1 DBC Net Control. SUM, Jonathan, if you have anything else on that, go ahead.
Question, Alpha Bravo.
Yeah, Alpha Bravo. Ken, go ahead.
Just out of curiosity, Chance, are you a golfer?
Yes, sir. How could you tell?
Well, I was just looking at that call sign, and it kind of spells it out for me, but just a little fun there anyway. This is Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo, back to that.
Excellent. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm sure as the weather warms up, people who have hobbies like that will be able to get back on the links or the blanking my mind here, but whiskey and golf, it sounded like the last time he was asked about that. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. I think I'll take check-ins at the moment. This is K1 DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics. If you've just tuned in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, one more time. This is K1 DBC Net Control. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, we have another 20 minutes. We just got KS0E, Alex checking in online. Really do appreciate that. This is K1 DBC Net Control. If you'd like to check in, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Let me see. Any other comments, questions, check-ins? We have another 20 minutes. I can bring up some things, but if anyone out there has any comments, questions, projects you're working on, things you want to bring up about what we've talked about in the past, again, w0tx.org for more information on our club, w0tx.org/check-in to see who's checked in, what we talked about in the past, and youtube.com/Denver Radio Club for a live stream of this net and past meetings and nets. So anyone else, comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
Question, KE0SUM.
W0TX repeater.
KE0SUM, Jonathan, the net is yours.
Well, Jerome, I think as ham radio operators, we should talk a little bit about the upcoming snowstorm. And I live in Lakewood. My power lines are underground, but I've had transformers and other things happen. So my radios are set up with power poles so I can convert to a battery. But I just find it interesting. I think during major storms, ham radio operators tend to listen to different frequencies to help out if they're needed. I wondered if anybody else did that, and which ones they listened to. Do you do Colorado Connection? Do you do this one? Do you do the 145, 145? There's a lot of repeaters out there you could listen to, but in a big snow event, ham radio operators are generally listening and trying to figure out how to help out.
Great question there. Absolutely, yeah. Some upcoming inclement weather. More information. One resource, at least, is the National Weather Service Boulder Twitter account. Some fairly up-to-date information. Rain and snow will continue with the snow level lowering to 5,500 feet by midnight. Snowfall rates in the heavier bands. Not the bands we're thinking of, but will range from 1 inch to 2 inch per hour above 6,000 feet. So some of the more up-to-date weather information there. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Hazardous weather nets, they meet daily on 449.225 and 449.75. I'm guessing that might be a good place to check in on weather operations, things like that. So, or maybe some Colorado traffic nets. Yeah, I don't normally, I haven't really done that. Maybe if you're involved with an Aries group, you might be checking in with your Aries team themselves. But yeah, great comments, questions there. Anyone on that with the upcoming inclement weather? Would you be monitoring any analog or digital or online websites or different repeaters or different nets or things like that? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that? Again, we've also talked about in the past Skywarn spotting program that might help. that's another option that you could check into to at least report if you're a spotter yourself, or if you can get some information. So nets might be stood up from different clubs, different groups as the weather gets worse. But yeah, I don't know. Comments, questions, anyone on that in terms of monitoring hazardous weather or severe weather, or how you would be reporting that, or anything on that? Go right ahead.
This is N0MTL. I was planning on just checking in on the weather net tomorrow morning. I forget what channel it's on, but it's on one of the CRA repeaters, I believe.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, another vote there for the hazardous weather net, maybe on the CRA repeaters there. I think we have it listed here as 449.225 and 449.75. If we need to update that, please let us know. But anyone else on that? Yeah, we looks like there'll be some weather, severe weather probably tomorrow afternoon. And I think Jonathan was maybe talking about his radio equipment a little bit. I can't remember it 5 minutes ago. But in terms of weather preparation for yourselves, maybe in terms of your equipment, when there's lightning, things like that, we always tell people to unplug their radios. But if there's nothing like that, yeah, make sure you have nets and repeaters built in, and that you can contact different groups if needed. But it looks like it's just maybe dispersed, Jonathan, SUM. So Jonathan, if you have anything else on that, or anyone else, go ahead.
No, Drone, just trying to lively up the conversation.
All right, sounds good there, Jonathan. KE0SUM. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? We have another 15 minutes. Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to talk about, please call now.
WG0LFR.
Yeah, Chance, WG0LFR. The net is yours. Go ahead.
Well, another one of my summer hobbies is sitting on my sailboat, and I would love to do some POTUS from Chatfield. I'm curious if anybody has any experience or knowledge about mounting an HF antenna onto a sailboat. I've got a couple end-fed antennas, and I'm going to try and get them up in the rigging somehow and chat on the airwaves.
No comment.
Excellent. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I've been watching some YouTubers doing some sailing, and I've been getting into a little bit warm cockles of my heart with maritime things like that. But cruising with ham radio, yeah, I'm sure there's a pretty good. I'm sure maritime and radio fall in line quite well together. But yeah, I have no experience or expertise on that, so I'll throw it over to Jonathan. SUM, go ahead.
Well, a couple of questions. How tall is the mast? Or just going to use an end fed?
Well, I've got a 25-foot boat. The mast sits about 26 feet over the boat from the top deck. I have two different end-fed antennas. I've got a 60-foot chameleon and then a 13-foot, roughly 10-meter. And I'm open to more antennas, but just kind of curious about how the rigging on the mast and all the wires and stuff might interfere with the HF antenna, and if there's any other options, or if anybody's done it. Kind of a random thing, but I figure I'll lively up the conversation as well.
Well, I think you have excellent antenna choices, and I can't imagine why the rigging would affect the antenna. And now you can use the coax as your radio, except if you're on the water. Man, that's ideal.
K5 AFO.
This is K1 DVC Net Control. I had a K5 AFO in there. And yeah, as a landlocked state, we may not have a lot of follow-up on that at least. But AFO, the net is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Just curious. I'm just visualising this boat. Perhaps I made it a lot bigger in my mind. But is there any way to use the rigging as perhaps even as a separate receive antenna back to net?
Yeah, as I've been researching this, a lot of the blue water or offshore sailboats use the backstay as an antenna itself, but you pretty much have to insulate the top and bottom of the backstay, which proposes some challenges. They'll also use some copper, grounding into the hull to use the salt water as a ground plane, but I figure I can just string up a dipole or an end-fed half wave or something in different configurations through the rigging and use that. I was just concerned with all the masts being aluminum and then all of the stays front and back and then on multiples on the sides being stainless steel, if that's going to interfere with the signal at all. I'm not sure on that. Of course, I'll insulate all my connections, but those are my thoughts.
I didn't realize you were dealing with aluminum, but that shouldn't bother your antenna. Stainless steel, what part of the ship is that?
All of the stays for the mast. So you've got a lot of triangulation from the top of the mast to the front of the boat, top of the mast to the back of the boat, and then 2 points from the top of the mast to the side of the boat. So there's quite a bit of rigging up there that I'd be kind of hanging this antenna up in. I figured I could do an inverted V on the dipole and hoist the balun up onto the top of the mast, or kind of just run an end-fed half wave from the backstay to the front stay, and then it would kind of touch the mast in the middle, so it's aluminum, so it shouldn't interfere.
Well, you've certainly done your ARRL antenna handbook because, I think all the things you're thinking are correct, and I like studying antennas. I'm curious maybe that your radiation pattern might change, but other than that, very good job. KE0 SUM back to net.
LNT comment.
All right, we had LNT Dan in there. Online, we had Alex mentioning that he did some research a while back on this, and the Cruising World forums have pretty good long thread on single sideband radio configs, including antenna. And YouTube should have some pretty good videos as well. So thanks, Alex, on that. Dan, LNT, the net is yours. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to comment on another YouTuber that I follow. His name is Walt, K4OGO. He's over in Virginia. His station on YouTube is Coastal Waves and Wires. He does a lot of fun vertical activations right along the harbors and stuff where he's operating from. And one of the fun things I want to try someday is throwing my radials out on a pool noodle float there. And you just tape the radial to the pool noodle and kind of let it go away from the vertical. So that might work for the sailboat as well.
Question about the pool noodle?
Yeah, go ahead.
The N0 MTL. Would you need to put the pool noodle over the entire, let's say you had a random wire, would you need to put it over the entire wire to keep it out of the water? Or would the water cause a problem?
I think it's just to tape the end of the radial to the noodle so it doesn't sink down. A couple times I've done on a saltwater pier out in Delaware and along the coast back in Massachusetts, and the radial kind of on the beach or whatever, it's not really sinking into the water. But on a pier, I tried it once, and you could see the radial is kind of going down. And it kind of works better if the radial is on top of the water instead of kind of going in and getting, several feet down. Just to keep the radial floating. And I wouldn't use it on the whole end-fed wire, just the radial.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you were putting the antenna wire out through a pool noodle. I'm like, that'd be like 80 foot of pool noodle. I think that would be difficult to manage, but no, that sounds good. 10-0 MTL.
I've had friends who sailed across the Atlantic, and the marine radio, I don't think they used any radios.
What I've seen on the blue water boats, they will have a ground wire that goes down through the hull, or they bond it into the fiberglass of the hull, so it interacts with the salt water as a ground plane.
Oh, thanks for the explanation. That makes perfect sense.
All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. Great conversation here. Really do appreciate it. We have another 5 minutes or so, but Chance, LFR, hopefully once the weather gets better, you'll be able to do some testing and let us know, take some photos. That'd be really cool to see that and hear some operations that happen there. And really appreciate everyone's follow-up on that. So another few minutes here. Any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything we've talked about so far or anything else, please call down.
Okay, now everyone needs to keep their fingers crossed that it starts snowing soon, so we get 20 inches instead of just 10. KE0, in my opinion.
Yeah, AFO.
Yeah, AFO, go ahead.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I want loads of snow, but don't get me wrong, I don't want anybody out there getting hurt or driving crazily or stuck with no power or any problems. I'm not wishing that on anybody, but in the UK, if we get 2 inches of snow, the country grinds to a halt for 3 days and everybody rushes to the supermarket and buys stuff they don't really need. So it would be nice to see. In my year and a half here so far, we had 2 lots of 10 inches Christmas 22, so I'm hoping to get a bit more than that. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I know there's plenty that won't, and I'm almost frightened to drop the mic.
No worries, sounds good there, AFO. This is K1 DVC Net Control. Yes, the old climate change problem, unfortunately, is affecting it. So we are seeing less and less of this as time goes on. Over the last 10, 15, 20 years, we've had a lot of snow and a lot of weather like that, but it's died down a little bit, and we're getting a little bit more moderate weather during this winter time, unfortunately. So in higher country, higher elevations, you'll see that. But everybody definitely be careful if you have to commute, and if you do have to get things ahead of time. This is K1 DVC Net Control. Yeah, it is nice to see the city's a little bit quieter during that time too. So this is K1 DVC Net Control. Anyone else on that? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
Well, I'm curious because I can't imagine anyone listening on ham radio during your net is not prepared for a couple of days of snow in Colorado. It's like, why would we panic? It's going to be spring next week, and it's going to be in the 60s next week. So I find this an interesting event to look forward to. So I wasn't going to work anyway, so I stocked up on the important things. You know, a little extra beer.
Exactly, the important things. Absolutely, yeah. This is K1DBC. Yeah, we've seen some odd weather here. Some cold streaks, some hot streaks. It's kind of odd what's going on. So if anybody has any meteorological background and wants to provide any information on that, what we can look forward to in the future or next year, things like that. But yeah, weather's been quite odd here recently. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, if you've lived in Colorado for a couple of years, you'll know how to stock up a little bit on the things that you need, the important things, and then a few days later, the sun will shine and the snow will melt. So this is K1DBC Net Control, and we have another minute or so. Comments, questions, check-ins. Anyone else? Please call there.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Might start to wrap things up here. Just cover some club news, and then I'll throw it back out to the net to take any last-minute comments or questions. Up on our website with w0tx.org, some recent articles that have been written here by Mark Thomas, Rocky Mountain Ham University, coming up. One of their talks. Really do appreciate him posting us on that. Let me see. April 13th, 3D printing. It's the last one for this season, all about 3D printing and what it takes to get it all together. This will be remotely presented. So more information on the Rocky Mountain Ham website, rmham.org, and RM Ham University. So appreciate Mark letting us know on that. And then as we spoke about last week was unfortunate passing of Bob Heil. So yeah, this is K1DBC Net Control. If anybody wants to help contribute to our website, if you want to write any news articles or anything like that, we have a lot of support to show you how to do that. So this is K1DBC Net Control. I'll see if I have anything else, but I might throw it back here in just a moment.
This is KF0PKZ transmitting for the first time. I just got my technician license. Just seeing how I'm coming in. Over.
All right, we had a new call in there. Really do appreciate that. I didn't get the whole call sign. I think I heard KF0 and it cut out a little bit. If you can go ahead and try that once more, go ahead.
KF0PKZ.
All right, I think I got you that time. Kilo Foxtrot 0, Papa Kilo Zulu. Thank you so much for checking in. It's not showing up on my tool here, but thanks for checking into this net. Let me see if I can grab some more information about you. But if you want to let us know how you found us or anything else on that, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just channel surfing here, and I just got my call sign today, and I just wanted to reach out to somebody here, and I kind of got a little bit of your info. If I can get that info again, I'll be glad to look you guys up and communicate more, as I'm always up for learning and become better at working my radio.
It's good to hear you. Can you phonetically say your call sign again? I'm sure it's Kilo Foxtrot 0. What's your suffix or prefix?
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Papa Kilo Zulu.
Well, congratulations. Your radio's coming in good. You sound good, so you definitely have to check in and talk to us again. I didn't know we were up to P's. I thought we were still in the O's. I don't know if you know how licensing work, but it's all just one letter at a time. LMN, O, and P. I didn't know we were out of P's. But congratulations. KE0SUM, back to it.
My apologies for jumping the line here, but I was just a little excited here and just wanted to reach out to people. But yeah, let me know or I can get on with somebody here to see how this whole system works, and then I will get in line. Thank you for updating me on that.
This is K1 DBC Net Control, Papa Kilo Zulu. I'm trying to look up on the FCC site. It is a little bit slow, but not a problem at all. You didn't skip any lines. Really do appreciate you checking in. This is just towards the end of the net, but yeah, really do appreciate that. Our club website, Whiskey Zero Tango X-ray, w0tx.org. A lot of information on there when these nets occur, and a lot of stuff online. Unfortunately, it is just towards the end of the net here, but really do appreciate you checking in. Thanks for, glad to hear you got licensed recently, and you were searching around and were able to hear us. So, really do appreciate that. So if you have anything else on, go ahead.
Comment. Kilo Papa Sierra.
Yeah, KPS. Kevin, go ahead.
You might want to pass along to Papa Kilo Zulu that we do have a general meeting on the 20th, next Wednesday, and that the learning net starts an hour or at 1800 hours.
Yes, great shout on that. These learning nets that you're tuning into, they happen every Wednesday of the month, except the third Wednesday. The third Wednesday, we have our meeting online. More information on our website. It starts, there's an Elmers session. It's basically the same thing as what this net is. Instead of taking place at this time, it takes place at 6 p.m. Online. And then at 7 p.m., we have a program. So more information on our website. Again, w0tx.org. The third Wednesday of the month is our meeting. So if you tune in to this frequency next week, we won't be here, but we will be online. And we'd be more than happy to have you or anyone else attending that.
Thank you for that information. I will look you guys up online here and see what I got to do to get online with you guys, and I'll see if I can communicating with you on your next conversation time.
Excellent. Sounds good. And there was never a requirement to become a member. You never do have to pay any membership. All of our activities for everyone is free to attend. If you do want to become a member, that you're more than welcome to do that at some point if you like. But excellent. Thanks for checking in, and hopefully we can start answering some questions. A lot of contact information on our websites. We have a contact form. If you have any questions, let us know. So this is K1 DBC Net Control, KF0PKZ, Papa Kilo Zulu. Thank you so much for checking in.
Thank you all for letting me chat on your conversation time here. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Papa Kilo Zulu. I am out. Thank you. Have a good night, and everybody be safe in the snow.
Excellent. Thank you so much for those kind words here. So yeah, I do appreciate you. And we also had N0LNT Dan and KF0LJT Jeremy, first time checking into this net as well. So thank you all so much for checking in here and participating in this net. So I'll take this opportunity to take any last minute check-ins, questions. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Thank you all so much for checking in. We had a total of 17 check-ins. Really do appreciate that. We appreciate everyone who's been able to help out with net control operations, whether it be our Sunday night net or Wednesday night net, and as well as all of the other opportunities with our website, our membership. A lot of people working behind the scenes to keep things going along here. So can't thank everyone enough for all the support that's been provided as long as you've been able to provide it. And so, this is K1 DBC Net Control. If you'd like to help out with net control operations, please get a hold of me or anyone other net control operators or online, and we'd be more than happy to help you out with that. All right, going back to the script here. So again, w0tx.org for more information on our club, youtube.com/Denver Radio Club to live stream this net and past nets. We appreciate and thank the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters for this net. Join us the third Wednesday of the month, as mentioned there. That will be next week, 6 p.m. for an Elmers session, just a general Q&A about ham radio and very similar to this conversation. So, and then at 7 p.m., it's our meeting. This month's meeting, let me drop for a moment. This month, we are being given a presentation by Tom Schuessler, N5HYP, on the topic of AMSAT, amateur radio satellite operations. According to his QRZ bio, he's been licensed since 1985 and enjoyed many facets of the hobby, including HF voice, digital modes, rag chewing, contesting, especially field day and others. Member of ARL. Let me see. Became interested in amateur radio satellite communications in 2010 and is a member of the in support of AMSAT activities in North Texas. He's also AMSAT ambassador, and he's spoken open to speak about at clubs and hamfests about that. So he's worked in the television industry professionally for 45 years in operations and engineering. So should be a pretty good presentation there on amateur radio satellite operations. So this is K1DBC Net Control. With that, thank you all so much for checking in. Good to hear new voices, old voices. Inclement weather coming up. Make sure you're prepared and stay safe out there. So this is K1 DBC Net Control 7-3, and I am cleared. All right, thanks, everyone. Play a quick video here. We'll wrap things up. Have a good evening.
The American story is one of promise and possibility.
KF0PKZ, this is...
It's a story of dreamers, doers, pioneers. Through our 2 new X-planes, we're daring to reinvent how Americans fly. Cleaner, farther, faster, higher. And that...
Thanks for watching. Have a good evening.